So in this question, we've been reading about Thomas. We were looking at how much he's earning per hour, therefore how much money he is making. Then we were taxing his wage. And now we are moving to the third part of that question when we are talking about Thomas putting money into a special savings account. So because he earned, he don't spend everything, he can save some part. So we are told that this account offers interest at a rate of 3.2% per year for 2 years, compounded annually. Thomas does not put any money in or take any money out of the account over the 2 years. Now, very important, once we see that word compounded, anything that has to do with compound interest, here we are talking about compounded annually. Straight away, we need to think about our formula for compound interest. Where do we have this formula? If you open your maths table with me to page 30, here on page 30 in your maths table, where we have compound interest, that is our very first formula. Now, don't forget that your table gives pretty good explanation of what you are looking at. So let's just for a moment consider that. In all of the following t, so that t here, is the time in years, and I, this I here, is the annual rate of interest or depreciation or growth. Yeah, we are only going to be really considering interest expressed as a decimal or fraction. That means that this I has to be expressed as a decimal or fraction. And here they're giving you explanation saying so that, for example, when we are saying that I is 0.08, that represents a rate of 8%. Now, there is another additional piece of information here at the bottom of your table of that page, and basically saying that the formula also apply when compounding at equal intervals of other than years. In such cases, t is measured in the relevant periods of time, and I is in the period rate. Now, in our junior cert, we don't really look at that part. We are only concerned with years. However, that financial maths will kind of go forward in your living cert, and we will be looking not only at years, we will be looking at months, at quarters, at weeks, anything, and we will be considering that aspect. Okay, back to our formula. Let's just remove that at the moment. So the formula is F equal P1 plus IT. Okay, so we know once we see that word is kind of a trigger for that compound interest. Now I will explain why is it, what does that mean in a minute. Annually means what? Yearly. So first part is saying how much interest will Thomas earn in first year. So that's simple enough because we are saying 2,500, and in the first year he's getting an interest of 3.2%. So we are finding how much is that 3.2% from 2,500. We put that in the calculator and we get 80. Okay, and then we are looking at the second part. Work out the total amount in the account after 2 years. Now, pay attention to the stuff that are in bold, right? They are not saying work out the total interest. They are saying total amount in the account. So we will be thinking, okay, in the first year he got 80 euros, so he has 2,580. In the second year again, he got 80 euro, so that means he have that much money at 2 years. However, that's not correct. Why? Because of that compounded annually. So I'm just going to use the opportunity of this question to explain what that compounded means. So In the first year, you are very right that he put 2,500. Then we added to that interest when we multiply 2,500 by the interest he earned, which gave us 80 euro. So therefore, yes, at the end of the first year, he has 2,580. Now, what happened in the second year? When that year starts, now in the account, he has not just 2,500, but he has 2,580. Therefore, is the full 2,580 multiplied by the interest. And that's the reason why this value will change. So that will give us, if we put that in the calculator, 8256. So now together, what he has in that account, that is 2,662.56. Now, I only wanted to show you how that is done. So you can ask me, well, but why the formula? If we are talking about 2 years, we can do this calculation this way. However, if we were talking about 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, that means it will be a lot of calculation. That's the reason why we have this formula. So let's consider the same example but using the formula. How does it work? So P, that means the principal value, or in other words, we can say present value, what I have now. So now he has 2,500. 1 plus, we said that I represent interest expressed as a decimal, so 32, and T shows the number of years. So we have 2 years. And again, when we put all of that in the calculator, we're going to get exactly the same answer here in one go. Yeah, I just wanted to explain to you how the compound interest work. Why is it different to what we can be thinking, oh, it's just 80 and then another 80 the following year? Again, very important to grasp the concept, to understand, because we're going in financial maths in Living Cert, that is taking a few steps further and more developed. So we have to understand how this formula works.